Number 4. Buried Secrets from Season 3 of the 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So fun story about this one. I actually saw an early preview of this episode when I was at the 2014 New York Comic Con, and they said it was going to be a spooky one, obviously because it was the Halloween season. But you know what I wasn't expecting? For it to be a parody of John Carpenter's The Thing. So the plot is April, Casey, and the Turtles are at the farmhouse when they find a Krang ship in the basement, as well as April's long-lost mother, voiced, believe it or not, by the original April O'Neil voice actress, Renee Jacobs. So it's kind of like when Christina Ricci was the main villain in Wednesday, and passing the torch onto Jenna Ortega, so to speak. That is actually pretty awesome, until you find out that she is actually the mom thing that should not be. This is the most horrifying thing I have ever seen in a Nicktoon. I am honestly impressed that they managed to get away with this thing. And yes, it has all the makings of the Thing, right down to it absorbing all the others and turning them into Krang monstrosities with weird faces and tentacles everywhere.
We will be a family again. It's all we ever wanted.
Yes, I know what you're thinking. April O'Neil and tentacles. Get your minds out of the gutter, zonelings. Of course, April is able to use her powers to defeat the monster, and Casey and the Turtles are saved, but unfortunately that's the last we ever hear of April's mom. According to show producer Brandon Ullman, she had died after being experimented on by the Krang, and her DNA was used to combine with Krang DNA to create the abomination you see here. Wait a minute, I just had a theory. Could it be possible that this thing actually was April's mom, and her DNA was mixed with the DNA, kind of like how it was in the movie? If so, that's pretty dark. I think the 2012 Turtle show is widely overlooked. It may not be as memorable as some of the other versions, but it definitely has some creative and often terrifying ideas. Now, if only Nickelodeon had a backbone and gave us more shows like this. Because if you can't bring Rugrats back, just bring Temu Rugrats. Number 3. Ghost Train, or Percy's Ghostly Trick from Season 2 of Thomas. And before anyone says anything, yes, live-action anthropomorphic vehicle shows also count as animation. You're welcome. It's hard to imagine how a show aimed at young kids would genuinely scare the engine oil out of people, but this show definitely found ways. Whether it be Thomas's infamous aghast face, or Diesel charging the camera, or this episode's intro.
And every year on the date of the accident, it runs again as a warning to others, plunging into the gap, shrieking like a lost soul.
I wet myself.
Good Lord, Ringo! Whatever happened to peace and love? Peace and love! So the plot of this episode is, Percy is telling Thomas and Toby a story about a ghost train haunting their branch line. But Thomas says he doesn't believe in the story, and he ain't afraid of no ghosts. But Percy has a chance to get back at Thomas after he crashes into a cart full of a white powdery substance. The show says it's lime, but nah, it's obviously cocaine.
I could have cheated and I could have passed, but I got high.
Now, white as a sheet, Percy, along with Toby, decide to carry out their ghostly trick on their friend.
I've just seen something, said Toby. It looked like Percy's ghost. It said it was coming here to warn us. Huh, who cares?
Oh no! Percy is dead? Ah, who cares? He can haunt a house. Great friend you are, Thomas.
Pee, pee, pip, 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 pee. Let me in. No, no, not by the smoke of my chimney, chim. I'll chuff and I'll puff and I'll break your door in.
Here's Percy.
Boy, the only thing missing from this episode is Percy chopping up Thomas with an axe. So, yeah, I owed the VHS of this thing, and it actually took me a number of years to watch it again because this episode was that freaky. The ghost thing covered in the white streamers on the bridge, the music, the aghast expressions of Thomas and Toby. And if you think I'm overreacting about this, voice actor Ben Diskin has stated that this episode's intro was one of the scariest things he'd ever seen. That's right, folks. Nigel Number One Uno was terrified by everyone's favorite Number One engine. That's unique. But yeah, if you and your kids are Thomas fans and they like scary stuff, you might want to check this episode out. Just keep them away from any baby powder and your Erdls. Trust me, it makes a mess. Number 2. So there's been a lot of Nicktoons Halloween specials, like the Rugrats episodes, and Hey Arnold obviously has a lot of fun episodes. But which one is my favorite? The answer? Cat Dogula from Season 3 of Cat Dog. I mean, come on. Cat versus everybody as vampires. Vampires to the left of me. Jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with a garlic necklace. The plot is Cat Dog are ready to go trick-or-treating for Halloween when it's announced by Randolph that Nierburg is being overrun by an infestation of Peruvian vampire ticks, led by No Sriracha, voiced by Jim Cummings.
Got to admit, I love my work.
He's fat! I don't care if he don't. I'll make him bleed!
Their first victim? A herd of cows.
Be afraid! Be very afraid! Woo!
You ever wonder if the writer of Deadpool watched this episode and got the idea for Hell Cow? Or maybe it was the little vampire. Who knows? On their way home from trick-or-treating, Dog ends up getting bitten by the ticks and becomes a shoot vampire dog. Well, wait a minute. Why doesn't this affect Cat? I don't know. Cat Dog's anatomy has been a mystery for the past 30 years now. Soon, everybody in town is getting vampired. The Greasers, Randolph, Rancid, and eventually even Lola. But not Eddie, because he's a whole different level of suck. It's up to Cat and their new neighbor Lola to break the curse and get everyone back to normal. In the only way they know how.
Hello, Kitty.
It's alright though, because we get plenty of unhinged vampire Dog, and he is easily the best part of the whole episode.
That is Count Dogula to you, hula girl.
I am not a hula!
You know, I think Dog has had the most gimmicks out of any cartoon character ever. I mean, think about it. He's been a werewolf, a superhero, Scott Steiner, Samoa Joe, and whatever their appearance on Figure It Out was.
Have you trained your dog to smell the Secretary of the Treasury?
And Tom Kenny just makes it all work. The man is a voice acting legend. Everyone talks about SpongeBob, but you gotta remember all his other work as well. And now, dudes and dudettes, it is time for a shameless plug. And shockingly, it is not Raid Shadow Legends. Oh! Who's coming to Voicelings to share all his stuff? It's Tom Kenny! He's SpongeBob and Ice King and Mayor and Powerpuff. It's Tom Kenny! He's Patchy and Heifer and Gary and Mitch. He's Binky and Cupid and MODOK and Cliff. Mr. Show, Futurama, and of course Scooby-Doo. Eduardo and Spyro and Penguin and Hugh. If we list all his credits, we'll be here forever. He's won Annies and Emmys. He's so talented and clever. Like me! No, not even close. You won't want to miss this. Join us for the live show. Be there at 11, October 25th. Only on Voicelings. It's Tom Kenny! Good lord, my Patrick Star voice needs work. What even was that? If you're a fan of vampire movies and one man or cat person versus vampire everybody's, Cat Dogula is a good pick from the Nicktoon catalog. Just make sure you got plenty of garlic catnip with you handy. Now before I get to number 1, I do apologize if some of the picks you're expecting didn't make the cut. Either because I haven't actually seen them, or I wasn't able to get the footage. I've only seen bits and pieces of the Scary Godmother movies, so I can't give a full analysis of them, and I've only seen the Gumball Halloween special once, and I don't really remember what happened in it. I was originally going to have movies like the Halloween Tree on this list, but at the last minute I changed my mind because having movies mixed in with episodes just gives them an unfair advantage. Know what I mean? And my number 1 scary cartoon special is Garfield's Halloween Adventure. When I was a kid, I owned a lot of creepy Garfield books like Garfield's Scary Tales and Garfield and the Teacher Creature. And there is some horrifying stuff in these books. The picture of the werecat in The Midnight Stalker? Dude, that was enough for me to make me sell the book. It literally gave me nightmares just having that thing on my shelf. I actually went to look and see if there were any TV adaptations of these stories, and, well, the only one I was able to find was a gripping tale from the CGI series. Unfortunately, the CGI show is rather neutered, but that's alright, because at least we have Garfield's Halloween Adventure from 1985. The plot revolves around Garfield and Odie about to go trick-or-treating. They dress up as pirates and prepare to go out into the Halloween night in search of all that booty. Or, candy in this case. Of course, Garfield, being the fat cat he is, gets greedy and decides to go look for more candy. Maybe in Spookyville if he's lucky.
Am I being too greedy? Should I share my candy with those less fortunate than me? Am I missing the spirit of Halloween? Nah. Oh, mine, I tell you.
However, they end up getting lost and find an old house on an island where they meet this creepy old man who tells them about the ghost pirates.
They vowed to return for the treasure 100 years from Halloween night at the stroke of midnight, even if it meant returning from the grave.
Why is it always midnight? Why couldn't it be like 2 a.m. or Dead by Dawn? Is November 1st cursed or something? So, to make a long story short, this episode is Garfield meets the Fog. And yes, William Blake and his crew do make their appearance, and yeah, the werecat can choke on a mouse. These bastards are terrifying. They're so scary that they actually make Garfield drop the F-bomb. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he actually says trash bucket, but still. Garfield cussing in a cartoon makes it a lot funnier. The overall moral of the special? Garfield learns how to share his candy with Odie. Yeah, the act of sharing on Halloween, no less. All he needed was a fleet of ghost pirates to knock his senses, I guess.
Maybe they didn't see us.
Arg, ladies, show me that booty! But hey, a special with really scary pirate ghosts and a scary old dude is enough to make this my number 1 scariest cartoon special. I hope you guys all enjoyed this spooky little adventure, and I'm sorry if you didn't get any of your favorites picked on the video. Don't worry, I'm gonna make another one next year. Until next time, happy Halloween, peace out, and cease. Now I'm gonna go get myself a slice of New York pizza. I love soul food.